Make sure we're rolling everywhere. All right,
Hey,
we're on this little restream, so this gives me every chat window that from everything I'm logged into, as far as I know.
cool.
So we're out here. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch. We're on shit. I don't even know how it works. Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and one other. There's five of them. Oh, Twitter. I
Hey,
forget on that. X, whatever the fuck it is.
there we go. I didn't
So
realize
what's
that was
up? We're here with Mike and Tim from FEVERTREE.
What's up?
Hey,
How's it going, man?
What's up, guys? How's it going down south, down there in Memphis?
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
been raining all day. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
We had a little rain, but it warmed up a little bit after that.
Yeah, it's got a little chilly here.
Yeah, everything's budding out. The pollen's nice and thick. Everybody's sneezing and coughing. It's great.
Absolutely.
Turn off the
Sweet.
other camera, she said. All right. All right, Shannon, how are we? Are we live on everything else? Get this other character out of the room altogether. All right, we're live on everything. She says.
Cool.
So we got a couple guys here. Tell us, man. It's been a while since I last talked to you. What's been going on with the band?
Man, we're writing new material right now. We when was our last show? Uh
Hadley's, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
a month or so ago. We haven't played a lot recently. We've got some stuff coming up this year. But the main thing we're concentrating on now is writing some new material and getting in and recording it. Give everybody something new to hear.
Mm.
And
Nice.
so that's sort of the goal, I think. Get out there and play a little bit more and let some people hear us live. We love to play live. That's sort of our thing that we like. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can
uh,
tell you guys are a live band from going to do my research and just looking at the pictures and that little clip I made. I spent a whole night just going through, grabbing pictures,
Yep.
videos, everything I could.
Yep. That was cool, man.
I got
yep.
lucky and half-ass matched your guitar lead on that.
I saw that. I was playing left-handed. It was cool.
No shit. Yeah, that was that Southern Man. That's a good song too. I really like that. I figured it would resonate with a lot of people down here because
Yeah.
Yeah. Always be, man. That's one of those ones that we didn't know would get the response that it got.
Yeah.
And
It's actually a lot of our folks that follow us and come see us a lot. That's their favorite. So
yeah, it's definitely a great song.
thank you. Appreciate
I honestly I can't tell you which out of the two albums which one is my favorite. Uh, they both are great albums from beginning to end.
it. Well, appreciate that,
thank
man.
you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That means a lot. We
Which I had a buddy that I was going to bring in from around here as a guest host. I haven't heard from him, but he's a big music fan, and I let him check it out, and he loved it too.
Good deal.
cool.
Awesome, man.
Thanks for spreading it around,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
We
most definitely.
that means a lot, to hear, people can relate to one of the songs or something like that.
Especially with the way the world is now, you put something out and people are bored with it in like 2 weeks
Yep.
because of social media and everything. We lessons learned. The first one we put out in what 19, right? 2019.
Yeah, I get, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it still does some good. So we're excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a little different feeling because like I asked you on that last interview, what you considered you guys because I told you I felt a lot of blues rock in it. And you just said a good old rock and roll band, and it is. I mean, you got a little hints of everything that kind of grab any kind of listener.
I appreciate that. We all kind of grew up around the same stuff. I think Tim and I are both huge Kiss fans when we were little guys.
Yeah.
So and then we both discovered Van Halen and that
right.
kind of stuff.
We grew out of Kiss and went to Van Halen. And,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that, you know, I've listened to everything from, I mean, I went through a big, of course, big Skinner phase and a Billy Joel phase.
Oh,
I
love Billy Joel.
Hey man, I think he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Man, he writes great lyrics. Him and Ronnie Van Zant, man, they got it going on with lyrics. But anyway,
yeah, I'm all over the place with music. I like everything from anything and everything.
Yeah.
I was into Glenn Campbell before I discovered Kiss. Actually, the Wichita Lineman, that was by the time I get to Phoenix,
yeah.
And my sister gave me a Kiss record, and I lost my mind after that. You know.
I was probably just a generation above because it was Michael Jackson and Huey Lewis and the News, and then I was gave Appetite for Destruction, and that changed my whole world.
I was just talking with some younger guys at work today. They're quite a bit younger than me, and one of them was humming "Welcome to the Jungle" or something. I was like, man, the hits on that record, and it was, I guess, because it was played so much, are my least favorite now. It's like everything else is there, you know, Mr. Brownstone and Night Train and all that. Those are all my favorite. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was just played so much, you know.
Yeah, and that's my favorite band, hands down, and I just cannot stand that song. I mean, I kind of like Sweet Child of Mine, even though it was played so much, just because it's a great song. Yeah. But you know, Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, those I can't do. I don't do radio because they just kill shit.
Yeah. Well, that record from one end to the other there's not a clunker on it. Man.
Nope. Every song's great.
Not at all, and it's still holding up to this day, man. I mean, I'm glad to see them back out and doing their thing because I've seen them 3 times since they've reunited, man, and Axl sounds better more and more every time.
Yeah,
I saw him once, and it was back when they were 2 or 3 hours late coming on stage and stuff. So
see, luckily I never seen him back in those days. I didn't see him. The first time I seen him was 2011 when it was Axl and a bunch of hired guns, Bumblefoot and DJ Ashba, and
I think Izzy had left when I saw him, but everybody else was there at that point.
You know, they probably had Gilby Clarke then, huh?
Yeah.
Another great player.
And I don't, the problem with him going on that late, making everybody wait that long, is more beer gets consumed and things like that happen, and you don't remember the show.
Right? Yeah. Because you get antsy. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
One of the shows I made sure I went to on the rerun of these tours was the St. Louis show, because that's the first time since the riot. Yeah. And Axl come out. First thing he said, I was anxious. He's like, man, St. Louis. He's like, last time I was here was 26 years ago. He said, I was 26 years old. He said, come on, guys.
Right.
Yeah. So, anybody just now tuning in any of our lives, let's check some comments, and let us know if anything's going on. We're here with Mike and Tim from the band FEVERTREE. We're going to talk to them a little bit. You guys want to ask some questions, jump in, let us know, and they're going to play us a few songs. You guys maybe want to get into a song. We'll get some people in here.
Yeah, man. We can do that. We're going to do It's the Believer.
Okay.
This is off the second record, Social Mediocrity, and it's just, I think the song talks about I don't know, not having any regrets in this whole musical journey, even though you go through all the the negative comments and whatever, but it no matter what, it's been worth it. And the song's called Believer. Baby, it was wrong. Ain't nothing but a song falling on deaf ears and they can't hear it. The words in the road so clear, ain't nothing going on down here. What will it take for them to believe it? What about the voices you've been hearing? The whispers in your ear won't go away. If it all stays the same, tell me, was it all in vain? Sacrifice will make you a believer. A song will pull you through when nothing else will do. Listen close enough and you can feel it. A melody can take away a broken heart, will start to fade. Before long the words will slowly heal it. What about the voices you've been hearing? The whispers in your ear won't go away. If it all stays the same, tell me, was it all in vain? Sacrifice will make you a believer. If the world is bearing down upon you, and it seems there's nowhere you can turn, just let the music start a fire inside your soul and let it burn. There is nothing you can do about it. You just got to let it go. Hold your hands up in the air and shout it. You just gotta let it be. Oh. What about the voices you've been hearing? Whispers in your ear won't go away. If it all stays the same, tell me, was it all in vain? Sacrifice will make you a believer. Woo!
All right.
Hey.
I'm here. Sorry, guys.
Hey, there you are.
Trying to figure out all these different chat rooms. My streaming's giving me 2, and then I jumped over to Facebook. So we got a few people in on every platform. My mom said it sounds awesome. I told her she had to tune in because she's a big rock. I knew she'd be down for this.
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
And yeah, that sounded good, man. It's a great song.
Appreciate that, man.
So there's people. Let's get a little bit more into the backstory. I know a little bit about you, but nobody else does. You know how you guys formed and where you got to where you're at right now. A little bit.
Well, you want me to do it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, let's see. We formed. We got together in November of 2014, and John and I, the drummer, have known each other for, I don't know, 35 years.
Ever?
Yeah, a long time. And we just got together. I actually went and saw him. He was filling in for some more friends of ours that were playing downtown on Bill Street. And now he went down to see him play. And we just started talking about getting together and jamming, you know. And so we had to search for a guitar player. It was like, we couldn't think of anybody. Most everybody we knew were playing in other projects and stuff. So we started looking on this site called, what was it? Band Mix.
Yeah.
Band Mix. Yeah. And Mike had an ad. He was selling some guitars or something. And he had an ad and he was playing. Well, we didn't have the premium membership, so we couldn't contact him. And so, and neither one of us would, me or John, either one of us would pay for the premium membership.
$10.
$10.
Bastards.
Yeah. And so, but anyway, we finally did. One of us, I think it was me.
You did.
Yeah, John didn't do it.
John's still a cheap
and we met Mike. Mike got on board, and then we met our first bass player through the same platform.
Mm-hmm.
And we put it together, and we were just going to do some cover songs. And I think our goal, there's this little town that Mike and John live in. It's called Arlington, Tennessee, and they have a
Music on the Square.
Music on the Square, and that was our goal, was to play at the Music on the Square thing, which we never did. We never played. And so I guess we got about a year into doing cover stuff and playing a little bit. And
when we did covers, though, we didn't do the covers everybody wanted. We did the covers we liked.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they weren't, we weren't doing all the ones that you usually hear, and so people would be like, "What are they? What the hell are they playing?"
Right.
So
deep tracks.
What's you guys? What's the couple you played? What's some?
Well, one of them is we still play it now. We actually recorded it. It became one of our. I mean, a lot of people thought it was our song, but it's "Muddy Jesus." I don't know if you've heard that yet.
I didn't know it wasn't your song, actually.
Yeah, that's Ian Moore.
Came out in 95.
Yeah. But our version sounds
way different.
Yeah. It's a lot heavier, and so anyway. But that kind of stuff, we do a Government Mule. We like "Bad Little Doggy" by Government Mule, and just stuff like that. And so anyway, I think about a year into it, we usually take a break in November through December, through the holidays, and
have to go sit in the woods,
Yeah, and we got a couple of
Bambi.
We got a couple of deer hunters. So,
yeah.
But anyway, we got back together in January, and John, he asked us. He goes, "Man, what do you guys want to do?" And we had all been talking about it, just not as a group. We had talked about it separately, about getting starting to try and write some stuff, because we had dabbled with a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided to start writing, and we ended up spending that rest of that year writing recording the first record, Lessons Learned, and
nice.
And then it just sort of went from there. Got a great response, and people really dug it, and that's what we've been doing ever since.
We've been pretty fortunate where we can 90% of the time we just play our material, so it's great.
Nice,
good deal.
Yeah, and that's great, because that's hard to do with some crowds. Shit, turn down so you hear us moving around chairs. Yeah, it's hard to do. Just come out there and play your own material, and people would be receptive to it.
Right.
We just kept doing it whether they liked it or not.
Right. we kept doing it, and now we'll look out there and people will be singing along. So it's like
so that's actually what made us decide to record Muddy Jesus. We're playing one night, and when the song stops and he says Jesus crossed the Rio Grande, we could hear the whole place singing it. So,
right.
All right, we need to record that song.
Right. And man, that's in my opinion, because that's the first one I listened to before I interviewed you last time. I really just had the press kits and stuff that Brian sent me. That's more, for being an older song, that's more of, I thought, you're more harder song than all your other stuff. I mean,
right.
So like Ian Moore, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's kind of a Texas blues slinger, guitar player guy. Really good, man. We love him. But we took it and heavied it up, and that song, when we played it live before we recorded it, it could be 15 minutes long.
Oh, easy.
We never knew. We just kept going, just depending on what was happening. So now that we've recorded it, we keep it under control. We keep it down to 6.5 minutes.
Right.
Depending on crowd reception, I take it.
Yeah.
Shit, you guys can probably, if you do a Government Mule tune, you can probably jam that out for a few minutes too, can't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So John, he was from Tora Tora, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
He still
Yeah.
plays with the other. They've got a show coming up April 6th
Mhm.
here at Minglewood in Memphis, and they still draw a really good crowd. And
I had the album. I mean, a couple of my buddies had the album.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I've known those guys since then, since the early days, and they're all good dudes. We played with them last year about the same time.
About same show. Yeah, it's just a year ago. Yeah,
and that was fun. It was fun hanging out with everybody again. And
we blew the power out. It was great.
Yeah, we did. We knocked the power out that night.
It wasn't 2 seconds after we hit the last note and started to walk off, the power went out and it never came back on.
It never came. Tora didn't get to play that night. They
oh man.
The singer though, Anthony, there was a guy there that works with them a lot, Matt, and he had his truck. He had an F-150 and it had a generator, a built-in generator in it. So they set up a small PA and one of those selfie halo lights, and Anthony got up there and played for like an hour and a half acoustic.
Yeah, just saying.
And then the next day they came back and did a free show, you know, if the people could make it back, you know. But
nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So we did that with them.
Yeah,
the power, and then we were playing with Josie Scott from Saliva.
Oh,
we were doing a show. We're doing a show with him. When was that? That was what? November of last year.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, we got like to second, third song from the end of our set, and the power went out. We were like, people were quit asking us to play, man. It's like we knocked the power out of her.
That time it only stayed out for about.
Yeah, it came back
on. That's them live show craziness, man. Something always happens. It's bound to happen.
Oh yeah. The tour show had never. That's pretty bad.
Hey, you were you in any bands before FEVERTREE? You probably were. I take it, Tim. I mean, you guys been.
Oh yeah. We that's I had a spec deal with Ardent during the same time that Tora did as well. That's how they got their record deal.
Ardent's a studio here in Memphis.
Yeah, Ardent Studios is
okay.
Do what?
So like ZZ Top, Skinner, everybody under the sun has recorded it.
Led Zeppelin.
It's a very legendary place.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. But anyway, they started back in the mid to late 80s. They started it was speculative deals where they were basically cut your demos. You come in, you would sign with them, cut your demos. They would shop it, and if you got a record deal with a major label, then it was in the agreement that you had to cut your first 2 records there at Ardent Studios, and you know all that. But they helped. I don't know if you remember the Eric Gales band. You remember Eric Gales, and their big song was "Sign of the Storm" was their first single.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But Eric, look him up sometime. Look
He's
up
a monster.
Yeah, look him up. He was 15 years old when they got signed to Elektra, I think. And was it Elektra? Yeah, I think it was. I believe so. And man, he, you know, like all the guys in Stevie Ray's band, Double Trouble, the 2 guys, they Carlos Santana was on. I forget what, it might have been Arsenio Hall. It was on one of the shows, but anyway. I think it was, and Arsenio Hall said, "Who's your favorite, you know, new player out there?" And he said, "Man, this little 15-year-old cat in Memphis, Eric Gales." Nice. and him and his brother Eugene, both. Eugene played bass in that project, but they both play upside down, left-handed upside down. They just flip the guitar over,
but they don't restring it. They play it upside down,
right? Yeah. And so. But yeah, man, he's like really had a really big comeback in the last couple of years. You know, he's playing all over the world.
He's huge in the blues community.
Yeah,
huge. He just did an album with Joe Bonamassa, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, so they had several bands. They had Tora and Eric Gales and this band called TNA, who Wayne Sweeney, who was the guitar player for Saliva that just passed away last year, he was in TNA. That was, and they were signed at Ardent, and then us. And,
TNA rings a bell. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, they were, well, I think they were the singers originally from Evansville, Indiana.
Oh, right on. That's probably why.
Yeah, and I think they played a lot. I mean, this would have been late '80s, early '90s. Whenever they were playing a lot around, and like I said, several of them were from that area. And
yeah, back in the good days.
Dots, or what was it called?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, when we were at Ardent, it was Johnny Gray. It was Dots. The band that I was in was called Dots, DOTZ. And then when we signed with Ardent, they made us change our name, and so we became Johnny Gray. And it was sort of a Southern bluesy rock type thing. But
why'd they make you change the name?
Because they
didn't like it.
Yeah, they didn't like it, and they thought that
they're like, come on, be a little more creative. Fuck.
Right.
But I mean,
we were planning.
Go ahead.
And then Mike, I'll let you tell your story about how you came here. And
I'm originally from Oklahoma, so I moved here in '91 with a band. So I had come down here. I was playing in a band in Oklahoma, and we had, believe it or not, at the University of Oklahoma, there was a film school. So one of the guys that was going to that school, he put together a B movie called Heavy Metal Cannibals, and he asked us, the band I was in, to record, to help to put some songs on the soundtrack. I said, but the caveat is you have to go to Memphis to do it, because I have a connection there and a studio there to do it. So I came down here, and a guy named Danny Jones, he was a producer engineer, and he's worked with all kinds of people, from Stevie Ray to who knows. Anyway, coming down here, we cut those songs for that movie, which I've got 2 copies of the DVD finally, and I still haven't watched it after, I need to watch it though. I think. Anyway, I hit it off with him. He asked me to move down here, and we put a band together, and I came down, did some studio work with him, and then ended up forming a band along with a guy named Bernie Burnell, who was he worked with NXS and a couple other. I don't know if you remember a band called Ministry.
Oh yeah, I love
it. So he was on the road with one of those 2 bands all the time, and
nice.
Anyway. So we cut a record, kind of the same deal that he had. It was a spec deal, but it was a different studio. We put out a little EP and we shopped it, and that's how I ended up in Memphis anyway.
Oh yeah.
But, Memphis is a great place, and I wanted to get out of Oklahoma, and Memphis had a big live original music scene at the time. Actually, so Tora Tora, the band I was in Oklahoma before I moved here, we covered Walking Shoes, probably their biggest hit.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I had no clue. I'd ended up playing with the drummer, and the drummer John. He lives 10 minutes from me. We didn't even know it, but anyway. So it's just kind of funny how everything worked out, and we all ended up together.
Yeah, it came around. You guys mesh well. I mean,
and we have a good time. This is our 10th year. We're actually thinking about putting on a show at Minglewood. It's one of the bigger places here, about our 10-year anniversary, and get some of the bands that we play with all the time around here and having a big party there. Probably do it in the fall if we can get it together.
Shannon, that means a Memphis trip.
Yeah, you should come down, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I told you last time, my family's in Nashville. I lived in Nashville, but I ain't never been in Memphis.
Well, Memphis is a different animal than Nashville, like that.
Yeah. I'll be back to Nashville. That's my plans, in the long run.
But it's only a 3-hour drive. It's 199 miles from Nashville to Memphis. So.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to make it out. I'd love to visit Memphis and check out and see you guys play, because I mean,
yeah,
and because I like rap music a lot, and every genre of music I like. A lot of it, there's a lot of it that stems back to Memphis. Especially a lot of the rap I listen to is from Memphis. I mean,
Memphis has a huge music history. I mean, rock and roll was born here with Elvis. Come on.
Yep. Yep. And that's Graceland. That's on my bucket list too. She knows that, so we can just make a whole week out of it, babe.
And they've remodeled, upgraded Graceland, so it's really cool now. I mean, it was always cool, but now it's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you well, actually, if you want to, you guys want to play another one, I got a couple sets of questions I've been thinking of, but I think it's going to be a little long-winded.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
Okay.
You start. There you go. Take me out to the countryside, far away from home. I'd rather be hunting, fishing, out here all alone. Don't need no city folk. Tell me where I belong. Sun shining on my back, bullfrog singing out his song. Yeah, yeah. No place in the whole wide world I would rather be. You're sitting here on this back porch, you're sitting here with me. Ain't got no brilliant plan, take it through the slow. Ain't in no hurry, ain't got no place to go. No, ooh baby, this is where that I belong. No matter where I am, the sound is deep down in my soul. Mississippi Delta, Arkansas, I need you. Tennessee, the promised land. Georgia to Virginia, sweet Alabama, Lord, the bayou sand. I guess I always be a Southern man, yeah. I can't say that I've seen the world, but one thing I found, I've never been that far from home, but I sure have been around. Stay right here till the day I die, and I will be just fine. Long as I am down below the Mason-Dixon line. Ooh, baby, this is where that I belong. No matter where I am, the sound is deep down in my soul. Mississippi Delta, Arkansas, I need you. Tennessee, the promised land. Georgia to Virginia, sweet Alabama, love the bayou sand. I guess I always be a Southern man. Guess I always be a Southern man. I guess I always be a Southern man.
Sounds great, guys. Man, sounds really good. Got
Thank you very much.
Few comments in here. We got Robert said guitarist is amazing. My mom said such great talent. And oh, he said, "Oh, you both sound great. I'm feeling it."
Cool. Thank you.
Love his sound with his guitar tone, and yeah, it just pretty much says you guys are on point. You guys are sounding really good, man. My mom said she remembers TNA.
Oh yeah.
So, I was telling my buddy, like I said, I was playing the music for one of my big music friends, and I was kind of telling him the backstory, and it's Mike. I mean, you came over, and would it bother you to touch on fucking grunge coming in? I told my brother-in-law how much that it fucked up what you had going on, man, and he's like, you can't not talk about that.
It really kind of changed the music scene everywhere. I mean, like
John
and Tor, they were out. They were out with the Cult, right? Their last big tour.
No, that was their first one, but they had really started picking up a lot of traction with that second record, and then the grunge thing hit, and they recorded the third record and got dropped.
Yeah,
so it was like
changed the whole music. It really did. We had a guy from A&M, I think it was A&M, yeah, came over and we did a producer showcase, the band I was in, and he told us we were great. We did a private show for him, played several songs. We played some ballad that I'd written, some sappy thing I'd written when I was 18. He thought it was the greatest song in the entire world. And we were, you need to lawyer up. Your people need to talk to our people, blah, blah, blah. And he left, went back to Los Angeles, and we never heard from him again. And that's when all the grunge thing was starting to really snowball and go crazy.
Yeah. So, like I seen it from the outside. You guys seen it from the inside. Whole different.
And look, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, I love those bands.
Yeah, me too.
I do. And around cool stuff. Not that the music scene didn't need to change because the hair metal thing had gotten out of hand. There's no question. But we weren't like that. I mean, I don't think any of us were. No. We were jeans and T-shirts and let's just rock. That's all we want to do. We don't.
Yeah, and there was a lot of bands that come out at that time like that. That unfortunately, like Shotgun Messiah and some killer bands that come out that could have stepped over that edge if it hadn't just the market got flooded with all grunge.
Oh yeah, it was it really like. I mean, it took a hard turn, and it was like
a light switch. Like,
yeah,
bam.
and some of the bands, like what we were talking about, I guess that we were sort of like Tesla. Tesla still did really good. They had built enough traction that they were able to keep going. But a lot of the newer bands that weren't able to build that kind of following and traction and stuff, it was over. It was it for them.
Yeah, Tesla is one of my favorites too, man. I
love those guys.
They were lumped in the wrong category. They were a rock and roll band. There wasn't nothing hair about Tesla. I mean,
no, not at all.
Absolutely, just a rock band, man. Just a good guitar rock band.
Yeah, I've been looking at Tommy Skioch's. He's got a little side project I've been checking out. He's not doing too bad for being. Yeah. He got pretty wild, and they kicked him out a couple times. I've seen him with him, without him. But yeah, I told him, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to touch on it, but it's like I said, it was more or less you guys seen it from a different angle than what we seen it coming up as teenagers in my age anyway. And actually, the guy who brought the question up, he's 60, so I mean he's went through all the different turns of music.
So, and what's interesting is it used to, like, I guess it still does, go by decades, right? So, like, there were the 70s. Then the 80s came along and it was the hair glam, blah, blah, blah. And then the 90s were the grunge. And then 2000s were like rap rock stuff or
new metal. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But now it's just kind of a whole hodgepodge of stuff, which is cool,
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I remember, I've been able to see it a couple of times in my life. I guess we all have, but the whole thing, like with the grunge thing, it was sort of a middle finger to the glam bands and
what was happening.
Yeah, because the record industry, if you weren't You know, if you didn't have big hair and have a really high voice, and you know that's what they were going for towards the end of that '80s metal thing, you know, and then all of a sudden these guys are, you know, wearing cut up flannel shirts, shorts, and combat boots, and they're like, and everybody's like, man, that shit's for real, man. It's not fake. It's not glam, you know? And so it took off, but then it became like glam,
right?
That became glam because everybody was doing it, you know, and
everybody got burned out with that.
Yeah. So,
well, it's almost like a radio or record label thing, because I mean, if you look back, like at some old Soundgarden, Chris Cornell had some pretty poofy hair.
Yeah, man, he had some great vibes. You know?
Yeah, so they come out with more, you know, and them a lot of them come out more a little into the '80s rock, but then I think that it just kind of evolved into that.
Yeah, look, Alice in Chains, man, they're to me they're just a great rock band.
Yeah,
they were, you know what I mean? It wasn't
crazy good harmony vocals. Man.
Oh yeah,
I mean just real.
It reminded me of they sort of had those dissonant harmony, sort of like Aerosmith did, you know, back in the old Aerosmith stuff.
Old Aerosmith.
Yep. My one of my favorites from that era, I would say is a great rock band. That's Blind Melon. I mean,
yeah,
they were just a rock and roll band. I mean, the album Soup got a little weird, but their first album was just like a jamming rock album.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, most definitely.
What's that guitar player's name? I don't know. But if you listen to that first Stone Temple Pilots record, you go, man, that dude was influenced by Jimmy Page big time. Yeah, I mean, you could hear Zeppelin all in that stuff.
When they first come out too, I remember they was touring with like Megadeth, and they come up touring with hard rock bands before even the grunge scene broke.
Right.
And I think everybody blames grunge or relates grunge to Nirvana, right? Because they were the first big mega. But man, their grunge was way more than that. Like it or not, like I said, I love Alice in Chains. They're probably my favorite of that genre, even though I don't really consider them that genre. I think Facelift and Dirt are both freaking phenomenal records.
Yeah,
they're great. Unfortunately, that career got cut short, but you know.
Yeah, there were some great bands that came out. A Cry of Love, that was a great rock band that never really got a whole lot. Have you heard of Cry of Love? Those guys?
No, I'll have to look into that.
Oh God, you got to check them out, man. You'll love it.
Was they just on the cusp of jumping over?
Well, no, they were actually.
What was the hit? Peace Pipe was their
hit. Peace Pipe was their big hit, but the whole record is really really good, and nice. it was the first record.
It's Zeppelin influence too, I would think.
Yeah. They sort of remind me of Trapeze a lot too, like you know, Glenn Hughes, that type vocal, you know. But they were, man, I love that first record. Well, I guess that was their first record. That was the first one I knew about.
I think it was. Yeah.
But it came out in the '90s. It was like late '90s, I think.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. So more rock, but it come out when grunge was going on.
Yeah, it did, and because everybody was like, "Oh, it's coming back," right? but it sort of, you know, peaked and then it was over with.
There was a few bands that kind of like, all right, they were going to bring it back, and they just kind of leveled. And
yeah, well, you know,
I was excited to see Ugly Kid Joe come back last year. I mean, make that new album. That's another band that was way bigger than what they should have been.
I saw the singer. Was it, what's the singer's name?
Whitfield Crane.
Yeah, he was in a band that opened for Alter Bridge when my son and I went, and it wasn't Ugly Kid Joe, though, but they opened for.
Was it? Let's see. He was in Medicated.
I can't remember. It was in Chattanooga, and it was when Alter Bridge, when Blackbird came out. It was right when the second record came out, and my son and I went and saw it in Chattanooga and see it, and he was opening.
Was it? Did he have the guitarist Logan Matter with the big dreads that played for Machine Head?
Man, I can't remember. I didn't know who it was until because we were there to see Alter Bridge, and my son actually turned me on to that band, and I've become a huge fan of those guys. But
I'm a huge Whitfield fan. So that's one that, you know, vocalist, because when I started in music, that was me, vocalist and singer songwriter. So I've always gravitated towards vocalist, and Whitfield's up there in mine. And he's also on a hell of a Sabbath tribute band. He does a lot of shit still.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Back then he's like, "Fuck grunge," and now you're like, "Well, fuck, bring grunge back. This music sucks nowadays."
Yeah.
When you was talking about it, I was thinking that I was like, fuck, if we could just get that back and get rid of what we got going on, it'd be great. It's the 3 seconds of fame. I mean, it's the singles era. You guys know that. I mean, people don't have the attention span to make it through a whole song, let alone a whole album.
Right.
That's what we were saying earlier about the people, at least around here, are still digging lessons learned the first record. It's like it's kind of a small victory. People still listen.
And that's what I tell some, a lot of guys. It's a double-edged sword. You got the album holders those are the ones that are the fans. If they've bought the album or if they've got the whole album, that's somebody that's listened to it instead of just getting a single or hearing the video on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. Last year we put out the 2 singles, and before that we were, hell no, we're putting out whole albums. We're putting out the first album's got 12 songs on it.
And we were like going, man, let's put 10 songs. Mike was like, no, you're gonna put 12.
112.
And you wouldn't believe how many bands want full albums, and every band wants full albums.
Yeah.
When we recorded the first one, we were like, yeah, let's just do 10 songs. He was like, no, let's do 12. And he was like, this might be the last time we do this. So let's just put them all on there.
Let's stuff everything we can.
And then we ended up doing the second one. I think it only had 10, right?
Yeah, only 10.
All right.
But it was still 50 minutes.
So look, we have a hard time writing a song less than 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
We got quite a few people here commenting. We've Teresa Mesmer says, "Sounds so good." That was my realtor. She sold my house.
Cool.
I'm so old. She said, "I'm so old. My team music is played in elevators."
Absolutely. The grocery store, Walmart. Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Johan says, "Cry of Love was great." That's somebody else I interviewed. I'm actually getting ready to put out a whole new thing on this. There's a local group from the Indianapolis when I was a teenager, and it was fun to interview them and get to relive my youth.
Right.
That's cool.
My mom wants to know, where are you guys going from here? What's your plans from here? I mean, we kind of touched on it at the beginning, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've never really had like a big, plan. It's just been, let's have a great time with this. Let's write some good music. This is our 10-year, November will be 10 years we've been together.
I kind of hinted around or told him a little bit about what we were thinking about doing in November.
Oh yeah. We're Mike told you we're thinking about doing celebrate 10 years with FEVERTREE, and have some of our friends get up, and that we've gotten a lot of support. The music community in Memphis is pretty tight. It's a pretty big family now. Back in the day, it was like, fuck you. It's so competitive.
Yes.
And now, now that we're older and we're on
everybody's too tired to worry.
Yeah, we're on blood pressure medicine. It's like, hey, buddy, how are you?
Yeah,
let's do it together. So,
the plan is to record. We just finished a song, actually, a new song that we're gonna debut here in a couple of weeks. We're playing a show here in Memphis at a place called Lafayette.
Yeah, we're excited about the new song.
And then we're gonna, we've got a bucket full of pieces of songs.
Yeah,
I mean, we got riffs and melodies and pieces of lyrics and stuff for days that we just got to put together.
Get together and arrange it, huh?
Yeah. So the goal is to write some new material, record it, get out and play.
Yeah.
So what is your guys' writing process?
Man,
it's different. It varies.
A lot of times it's So thanks to the great invention of the iPhone, for
Right.
one thing, is so I come up with a riff or a little piece of music, and I'll record it and send it to him, and then he'll come up with a melody and some lyrics, and then we'll all get together and finish it. Or we're in the jam room and I'm noodling around, and somebody goes, "Hey man, play that again," and
there's a little of this involved.
There is,
and so the next thing you know, there's a song.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, like the title track from the last record, Social Mediocrity, John actually came up with the drum lick at the beginning, and he sent it to me and said, "Hey, do you think we could do something with this?" And then we wrote the whole song around his drum lick. That he had. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it varies, but it's been real spontaneous. We've written some in 5 minutes, and then there's some that we've written like a first verse and a chorus, and
there's one song that's missed both records and the single.
But it's our bass player's favorite song.
Still floating around.
I figure old Rocco would have popped in this call somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. He's been a little under the weather.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate to hear that. He cracked me up that last interview. He's hilarious.
He's a nut job, man.
God, man, you just be happy that you're not close enough to be in a band with him. And because everything you own, he would have posed with naked and have a picture.
Oh no, shit.
Oh, yeah.
I told him he had frontman syndrome. Some of the stories he was telling, I was like, "Dude, think he was a frontman?"
Yeah, dude. He's had his junk on every instrument we got.
For some reason, he likes to be naked, and he's the last person in the world that needs to be naked.
Right.
Oh shit, that sounds about like me. Teresa said, she said, "I was at Vegas, got on the elevators to the room, and heard Marshall Tucker playing music. It was a moment of too much reality."
Yeah.
Greg
What's crazy
Smith.
though, like when you're in the elevator or Walmart or something now, and you hear like Metallica.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And I'm 46, so that's starting to hit me. It's like my music's coming classic rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. It's not becoming. It is.
Greg Smith said he can listen to FEVERTREE all day. FEVERTREE is something that I can listen to over and over and over.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Really
all
awesome.
Right, yeah. That's cool. Everybody who's tuning in, because I'm reading comments from every platform on here. I'd like to give some stuff away. For stars and likes or whatever. Shannon, you'll have to kind of keep me informed on it. We got prize packs with buttons and stickers and t-shirts and all kinds of shit. So guys, share this around and keep asking questions, and we'll give some shit away for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we'll throw in some t-shirts,
yeah,
CDs, whatever.
Whatever you want to give away, we'll send some stuff your way.
Yeah,
right on. And you throw me a shirt and I'll wear it on my next interview.
Absolutely.
That's what I told you. 2X.
Medium. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I told the last band that Brian had on, man. Brian, every band that I've interviewed for Curtain Call is a solid band. I mean, it's you guys got a roster on that label. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, there's some good talent. We just did a show. Matter of fact, our last show was with Stretch.
Have you talked to Stretch yet?
No.
You need to check Stretch out.
He's from Kansas City.
Yeah,
he's a trip, man. We did a show.
We brought him down here to do a show with us. He came down to Memphis.
Yeah.
So Stretch.
Now the last one I talked to was Dead Empire out in New Zealand, man. That was fun. That was neat because I had to do it at like 3 a.m. and it was 8 p.m. the next day for them.
All right.
But I don't know how many guys had lined up. I don't know if you want to play another tune or
which one do you want to do?
I don't care.
Doesn't matter to me either. I guess we can do a little bit. You want to do that one? Okay. Let me talk about it.
Yeah.
I wrote this in prison.
True story.
True story. And
every time he gives his spiel live, everyone's laughing. I'm like, no.
So, no, I've made mistakes, and but you know, some people make mistakes and don't learn from them. I learned from mine. But anyway, the song's called "Little Bit," and that's what it's talking about. It's talking about appreciating, you know, the little things in life, like your freedom. You know, right.
Which album is this one on?
Oh, this is on Lessons Learned.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on, I think it's the third track on there.
Yep.
If I could give a little more, take a little less, show a little more love and tenderness. When I want to learn, I gotta try to be a better man before I die. I want all of my children, my friends and family, know I'm a whole lot better than I used to be. I spend most of my life thinking about myself. Time to start thinking about everybody else. If I could give a little more, take a little less, show a little more love and tenderness. Ain't as hard as you think it is. It don't take that much at all, no. Just takes a little bit. Too many years have passed me by, and the ones I love the most, they're the ones that cry. I can't take back all I've done. I can prove it ain't too late for anyone. I spend most of my life thinking about myself. Time to stop thinking about everybody else. If I could give a little more, take a little less, show a little more love and tenderness. Ain't as hard as you think it is. It don't take that much at all, no. Just takes a little bit. They say I'm just a charcoal diamond in the rough. They say I got a heart of gold that just needs some shining up. Sometimes I want to throw in the towel when it gets to be too rough. But everything will be a whole lot better. Yeah. If I could give a little more, take a little less, show a little more love and tenderness. It ain't as hard as you think it is. It don't take that much at all, no. If I could give a little more, take a little less, show a little more love and tenderness. It ain't as hard as you think it is. It don't take that much at all, no. Just takes a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good jam. I remember listening to that the other day. I like acoustic tunes or slow or softer tunes. I mean, I like my rocking tunes, but I'm a big fan of like just acoustic guitar and some vocals and which I was looking while you guys were playing on questions and stuff, and some of Addison's questions, my stepdaughter's, which kind of that song I think it fits. She asked, do you find your lyrics easy for your fans to relate to?
Well, yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think a lot of the things that we write about, that people can relate to. I mean, earlier in my career, you were trying to, I think, write lyrics that you thought people wanted to hear because you're like in the 80s you were writing about partying and being wild and all that kind of stuff. And I think later in life, that's why the first record's called Lessons Learned, because most of the songs on there are personal.
Came from mistakes.
Yeah. So, and then social mediocrity is sort of the same way. I mean, there's a lot of their songs, a lot of them have meaning. There's messages in there. We're not trying to preach. We're just telling our story.
Yeah. Just where you've been, and you kind of answered her follow up to the question was, do you write them to be relatable? And I think you just kind of answered that.
Yeah, I mean, we write, we try to write, stories, things we've been through and what we've learned from them, and just stuff like that. So
yeah, it's definitely good. It's relatable, man. And I haven't heard a tune I don't like, really. I mean, I'd like. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to see you guys live.
Oh yeah, man. We have a good time live. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got some more questions here. We got Greg said, "Love it. Looking forward to seeing y'all again soon."
Cool, man. Good hearing from you, Greg.
It looks like we got let's see this one here. Are there any Tim, I guess this was one for you. Do you play any instruments, or is there anything that you want to play or have been trying to learn?
I do. I've written a few of the music to a few of our songs on acoustic. I play piano, I guess, is my instrument of choice, but I've gotten lazy and I don't like carrying it around because it's big and heavy.
He played the keys.
I like keys a lot. That was my main, I guess, writing tool for a long time. I don't consider myself I play piano. I'm not a player. I mean, there's some guys that are players that are great, but I can make my way around.
He can do it either.
But I just like the piano. I like piano and B3. I'm not a big fan of a lot of synthesizers and stuff like that. It's cool to just play around with, but I like to write on piano and
Teresa says, have you guys had a hit that you were surprised by? And the opposite, do you have one that you thought would be a hit and never got traction?
Is it Social Mediocrity?
There's a couple of them.
There's a couple that we were like, nah, we don't need to release that, and it really got a lot of good reviews. Social Mediocrity.
Yeah, the title track of the last record. So it's kind of a like you said, a train going off the tracks, but it's under control.
Yeah.
So we did that one kind of for ourselves, just kind of as a, hey man, this is a monster here, let's do it. But it's for us. We didn't think anybody else would dig it, but they do.
They do. I mean, we have people that come up to us before we play. Are you playing Social Mediocrity tonight? So it's like, yeah,
it's cool.
And
actually, Always Be was kind of a surprise too.
Always Be.
We didn't know that it would take a life like it did. It's cool.
And as far as
Southern Man, also, didn't you?
Yeah, that's Always Be.
It. Yeah, same song.
Southern Man and Always Be. It's Always Be a Southern Man is the name.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, that was one that we didn't expect.
I mean, we like it. We talk about it.
Yeah, we like everything we do, but we can be honest and go,
Yeah, it's kind of like the covers we used to do. We did them because we liked them, not because anybody else would listen to them. Yeah.
But on the other side, I'm trying to think of one that we thought would do, that we thought that we liked a lot and we thought would do. What do you think?
I think this one actually didn't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great song. It's called In Your Soul. It's on Social Mediocrity.
I think that that did you say it didn't catch traction?
No,
not like we thought it would.
Yeah, we really liked it a lot, and I don't know, maybe if we redid it and maybe had a better performance on it or something, maybe I don't know.
How long have you guys had that lyric video up for it? I just noticed that the other day.
What?
Yeah,
3 years.
Well, when we put the record up, 20, 21?
21. 21. So 3 years. It was not long after we released it.
Yeah, that's surprising as shit because I've showed that to a few people. I mean, I've got my pick and choose songs now, and that's one of them.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, we really liked it. You know, like that song a lot. And we, you know, it's one, and it's sort of the lyrics.
Yeah,
it's sort of deep, and we you know, maybe I don't know, maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, that song. I was in Starkville, Mississippi, and I was working there, and I was in a hotel room with a guitar, just picking around, and I played the music. I sent it to him on the iPhone, and I said, "Man, I don't know if we can do anything with this. It's pretty mellow." And next thing I know, he'd written all that stuff over it. And I'm like, "Man, that's cool. I like it." You know?
Maybe it's just that hidden gem. You guys don't know that it's a gem, but all your fans are like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, maybe that would be awesome.
We perform it a lot, and it gets a reaction. I just thought it would be more than it is, I guess.
Right.
You know?
Greg says, "What's in your soul" is his favorite.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Thank you.
We love Greg.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, buddy.
That's awesome. Thanks for hopping on, Greg. For real. I mean, I don't like since you guys were talking about it. You want to play that song?
A little bit of it.
Yeah, we played a little.
That's
you know, I was sick last week. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I could tell. I don't want to make you play too much, but Mike started playing, and I was like, I can feel it. Mike wants to play it.
If I could go back and make it all good, then maybe I would not be so misunderstood. Can't help it, that's how it's always gonna be. These are the things that make me over and over, been there before. Is it who we are or who we're looking for? Surrounded by everyone, always alone. Someone's always here, but no one's ever home. If you could go back and you understand that time can make you a better man. It does not matter all the stories that are told. All you have is what is in your soul. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's a good tune, man. It's a good tune.
Thank you.
So when did you find out singing was your passion?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of moments. I started on drums is what I actually wanted first, and what I got, and I played for a few years. My mom used to take me when I was younger around to some of the clubs in Memphis. At the time, Memphis had a hopping club scene back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. So I guess I was around 12 or 13, maybe 14. And there was this club called Trader Dick's on Overton Square. That's an area.
What?
Yeah, it's where the Blue Monkey is now.
What?
Next to Arden. It's right next to Arden.
Okay, I know where that is.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So anyway, she was taking me to watch a drummer, and she paid the guy at the front at the door $20. And he said, "Yeah, y'all can come in, but you got to sit here by the door." And so we sat right by the door, but we could see the stage. And so the drummer of the band was Bill Marshall. And Bill Marshall ended up playing with Hank Jr. for like 13 years. But anyway, this band was called Target, and the singer was Jimmy Jameson and of Survivor. And, and so Jimmy Jameson was like just incredible
monster
vocalist, you know. And so I'm sitting there, I started watching the drummer, and then I heard this guy start singing, and you know, and it was like, holy crap.
Let's be honest, he saw the girls all paying attention.
Right. That's probably
right.
And then my next thing was it was Kiss. When I went in '79, I went to the Dynasty. It was the Dynasty tour. And
been wearing high heels ever since.
Man, that's it. I was a second row. It looks funny now with my gut. But anyway, yeah. When I saw Kiss the first time, it was like, that's what I want to do right there. You know, I was like second row. You know, blood and fire was all on me, and it was like, heck yes. And then, you know, then later on, you know, I guess just really listening to singers. I mean, they're some of my favorite singers I can never sing like, you know, yeah, but I love to hear a great vocalist and somebody who sings with a lot of passion. I mean, I think passion, confidence and passion to me are, you know, 95% of being a good vocalist, I think.
Yep.
You know, it's just my opinion.
No question. Yeah.
Confidence for sure. I mean,
yeah.
You got to get up and run that stage, and
people can tell if you really mean what you're doing.
Right.
It's easy to see through bullshit. You know, no matter how good you sing, you can see through the bullshit.
Right.
Yep.
And you know, like when you see a guy out there, I used to love Joe Cocker, man. Watching him, like you can tell he was just like putting everything he had.
Watch John Belushi do Joe.
Right.
That's what I used to.
Yeah, man.
That's it. Like I said, being loving vocals. That's why I look at, and like, you know, I mean, you can tell who's doing it, who's got the passion. I mean, like Mike Patton is one of my favorites, and you know, he goes out and he has so many projects, and I just love that he don't care if he makes a dime off this album. He's doing it because it's what he wants to do.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not a soul might buy it, but he don't care.
Right.
So who and I'll get the mic on guitar. I like to ask this. Who are some of your vocal influences? Like your top vocal influences?
God, man. Everybody from, I mean, like I said, you know, a lot of the guys I can't sing like that. My favorite, like new vocalist is Miles Kennedy. I love that guy.
Oh man.
What a great singer. And,
Yeah.
And then we sort of touched on it. Paul Rogers I was always a big fan. I loved Ronnie Van Zant. I loved Lou Graham.
We were blaring Dio in the
driveway. Yesterday, I was a huge, I loved Ronnie James Dio. And they talk about a guy that nobody can emulate, that sung with so much passion. I mean, just an attitude. It was just all, you know, we were talking about that Holy Diver and Last in Line. Both those records, man, were unbelievable. You know, and just his vocal. And then you see live footage of it, and he's doing it. You know, he's doing it live.
There were no tracks. There was no bullshit. It was
right. So, yeah, I mean, I have a big, you know, there's a huge repertoire of singers that I love, you know, Billy Joel. I mean, as you know, all those guys.
Taylor Swift.
No, not one. And I'm not cutting her down.
He's a Swiftie.
I'm more for the older Taylor Swift, like the Tim McGraw and Love Story, than the newer dancing. I got a 19-year-old daughter, so I grew up through the whole Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, I've heard it all too. I'd never forget when I.
So what about you on guitar, Mike?
Well, I guess probably Eddie is the main influence. I mean, again, it was Kiss that made me want to play, made me want to be in a band. And then I wound up with the second Van Halen album. I didn't hear the first one. I got the second one. And I didn't know what was going on, but whatever that sound was, I wanted to make that sound. So then I went back and listened to the first one and got into that. And I actually went backwards from there. I got into Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Eddie's probably the main influence. And look, anybody that's played guitar since 1978 when that first record came out, you've been influenced by him.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of what genre, or if you admit it or not, or if you even know it, you've been influenced by him. He changed the instrument, you know.
Man, I love to see Wolfgang out there doing what he's doing.
Me too. I love it, man. He's not trying to be his dad either. He's doing his own thing, and I think it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, and he voices his opinion. He likes all kinds of music, but he can get out there and just rock it like his dad, man.
Oh yeah.
And he can play any instrument you hand him.
Right.
Yeah.
And he can sing. Great. Man.
Yep.
He's a talented kid for sure.
Well, Tim said as far as newest, he said Miles Kennedy. So you got to know Mark Tremonti, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually recently got into Joe Bonamassa pretty heavily. He's a little different than a lot of kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but I started listening to some of his podcasts because he's a huge guitar collector, and I was trying to learn a little bit about what he had and what he and the vintage market. I kind of wanted to know more about it. And what I learned is that I'll never be able to afford one. Is what I learned. But and I got into I've been into his playing lately. He's in a band called Black Country Communion with Glenn Hughes and Jason Bonham playing drums.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard some of that stuff, you need to listen to it.
Pretty good.
It's freaking
good
smoking.
Stuff, yeah.
It's good stuff.
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
It's a rock band. It's not blues like you think of him when you think of Joe Bonamassa. That band's a straight up rock and roll band. They're a lot like Deep Purple, I guess.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Glenn Hughes is got a great voice.
And Richie Blackmore, he's another one that I really like too. You mentioned Deep
Purple. Was that I think was it Glenn Hughes? I seen my lady's brother sent me a thing where he was saying that Smoke on the Water was wrote by Beethoven backwards. It was an old clip. It was like he come up, it's Beethoven's Fifth. Bum, 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 bum. He said he was listening to it, and that's coming with the Smoke on the Water riff.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I think, me either, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It was an old clip. I mean, it was Glenn saying it. I wish I could think of the arrangement, the way he said the arrangement, because it sounds like, wow, yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, man, I remember him from when he was in Trapeze, and that stuff was, to me, was ahead of its time. It was rocking.
Still a whale. Like
he's got a great voice.
Brian jumped in. He said, "Hey guys, you rock. Glad you're feeling better, Tim."
Thank you. Hey, Brian.
My mom said, "How about Black Oak, Arkansas?" Mama, Rocco played for Black Oak, Arkansas for a short time. He's not here tonight.
So about 90% of the musicians in Memphis has been in Black Oak.
Right. Yeah. A lot of them have played with him.
The guy that I was talking about earlier, Danny Jones, the producer engineer that I came down here to record with back in the early 90s, he played drums in Black Oak, Arkansas.
And his band, though, in high school opened for Black Oak during Black Oak's heyday. Yeah. I was reading that in his bio.
Yeah.
He said that
the guy that engineered our first two albums, he recorded some of Jim Dandy just recently, a few years ago. Black Oak, he had them in the studio just recently. Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you guys recorded both albums in the same producer, same spot.
We did.
And
then you plan on going back to the same guy for the next one?
Nah, we're probably going to venture out.
Yeah, we're thinking about trying something different. And we've actually talked about the guy he was just talking about, Danny.
We've been in touch with him recently. He's in Houston now. And we've talked about either going there or he's offered to come here and record us, one of the two. So.
Yeah, it could bring just a new spice to what you guys got. I mean,
yeah, that's sort of what we're looking for. That kind of, you want to definitely, like we were talking about earlier, we don't know how many more times we're going to do it. And so, we want it to get better as we do it,
I just don't want anything to become routine either.
Right.
Right.
Most definitely. Yeah. You guys, you guys, from the catalog I've seen, from Lessons Learned to Social Mediocracy to everything you did, it's moved up. It hasn't come monotonous yet. I mean,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man, very much.
And the last two singles we did at Supernova, it's a different studio here in Memphis.
was that
Good friend of ours, Matt.
Muddy Jesus and
Buried Alive.
Alive.
Buried Alive, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like so those are two of your little harder songs. I mean, you can tell the different. You can tell a different vibe from that.
Yeah, they came out heavier for sure. Buried Alive is probably one of the. Man, it's just a dark riff for sure.
Yeah, I think this new song that we're working on is going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah,
it's going to be. I like it.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be good, man. Can't wait for you to hear it.
Right on, yeah.
It's awesome.
Right on.
I'm excited.
Well, man, I've had you guys for a little over a couple hours. You want to give them everybody your social medias and just kind of tell them where they can find you and follow you and get your music and merch and everything.
So if you go to the website FEVERTREEBand.com, there's links to everything there.
Yeah.
Is the easiest way to do it. We're most active on Facebook for sure.
I think, yeah. It's FEVERTREE Memphis, I think.
Yeah, FEVERTREE Memphis. And that's the YouTube channel too.
The YouTube.
Yeah. But if you go to FEVERTREEBand.com, up in the right-hand corner, there's links to all of it.
Facebook, Instagram, all of it.
Yeah, like I said, there's a difference between if you space it or not space it when you look on YouTube.
Oh yeah, there is. So
no, Mike, I was looking at those pictures though. I was wondering if you was in the old FEVERTREE because I'm like, man, this dude looks like Mike.
Oh, you're talking about in the 1960s FEVERTREE?
Yeah, the different FEVERTREE that comes up.
Yeah, there's just two words.
And yours is one. Yeah.
So I'll tell you how we came up with the name. We were like most bands, we had a laundry list of names and we thought they all sucked. Nobody liked any of them, right? So we were listening to a Brother Kane song called That Don't Satisfy Me, right?
You got me hanging from a fever tree.
And there's a line in it that says, you got me hanging from a fever tree. Well, we were about halfway through a bottle of bourbon and that line came up and we all went, yeah.
That's it. No more.
No research, no nothing. That's it. Cool. And that,
when it hits, I mean, that's Brian said he can't wait to hear the new hit, and Tim has killer explosive vocals. Teresa said, thanks for this great intro to a new favorite band. All right, that's what I want to do with this.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Check out both their albums.
Yeah,
it's on all the digital platforms. Both of them are, and the two singles are too.
Do you guys have hard copies anywhere out there that you can order?
So we have CDs of the first two records of Lessons Learned and Social Mediocrity.
Yeah,
that's me. I order CDs.
You can get them from the website, right?
Yeah, you can get it from the website, or you can reach out to us through Facebook too.
Or you can just send us a message through Facebook, and we'll send them to you.
Our crowd, like us, we like to have something in hand, so we made CDs.
You guys thought about putting any vinyl or anything out?
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned it. Yes.
Yeah. John and I both work at. We're now the largest vinyl manufacturer in North America.
Oh wow!
Memphis Record Pressing, MRP, and so I've been with them from the start. John's been with them for the last couple of years, but I'm over maintenance for for the record presses. So we make a lot of records.
That's that'd be cool. Period.
Right. Yeah. We love it. It's got. I was a press operator early on when I started there, and then now that I'm in maintenance and over that, it's all about the equipment and all that. And a lot of times I don't even know what we're pressing. I'll walk by and see a record, and every once in a while one will catch my attention. If it's something I like, but it's like.
He's given me a tour of it. It's a pretty, and actually I saw it before it expanded like it is now. Yeah, it's an impressive facility.
We just expanded. When I started, there were 15 employees, and we had 4 presses that were in operation, and now we have over 50 presses and about 400 people, and it's Pretty crazy.
Vinyl has been making a storm come back. I mean, it has for the last 10 years, but it's just gaining traction.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
I believe that the record companies love that medium because it's the hardest to pirate.
Yeah.
And most of the time now, when you buy a record, it comes with a digital download card. So you have, and people want something tangible, something they can hold in their hands and look at and, check out. And so you got the record that you can do that with, but then you got your digital download card so you can put it on your device and, so you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's kind of why I buy it, because I like the booklets. I like, I like to be able to open it up and read it and have my little collectibles, whatever comes with
tattoos,
it.
Man. Yeah. You remember the tattoos that came in Kiss Alive 2? That was awesome. I couldn't wait to get the little Paul Stanley rose.
I got my mom's Kisses album, so the tattoos were probably already gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She probably put those on. I did as soon as I got it. Man, I cut them out. And I was sticking them all on me.
I got all her old. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
I got all her old concert stuff. So, I mean, I got in Indianapolis 77, Bob Seger opening up for Kiss.
And wow.
It amazes me just stories she tells me how I don't know if it's the same way around there, how they used to sneak into concerts back then.
Oh, yeah. Look, it was crazy.
Yeah. I remember many times at the Coliseum in Memphis, because there wasn't many shows there that were general admission. It was usually, you had a seat. But I remember many where my seats were in the top of the place, and I'd end up like second row. Because here comes jumping fences and, whatever,
Yeah.
You wait
Yeah, everybody's had a good time tonight. I really appreciate it. Teresa and everybody that's going to be cut out soon. This live will be up. I'll be sharing it. So I'm going to figure out a way to get more input from you guys to give some stuff away. And most definitely everybody that's in here tonight, DM me your address and I'll give you the little sticker and button prize packs that we've made up.
Cool, man.
I appreciate you guys for your time, man.
We had a blast.
Yeah, it's fun. Thank you.
Next time, this wheelchair is a little hard to make. I was like, shit. I don't know how loud you guys could hear it, but I was like, fuck.
Really, it's the chair.
It's not the whiskey at all. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I hope to hear more from you guys. When you play that new song, have somebody get to go live, and I'll share it.
Okay.
When you guys debut it, I mean, we can make a way to make it work where I can get it out here to everybody on this end.
Okay. Yeah, man, we'll do that.
That sounds cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because Brian just said he can't wait to hear the new song.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited about playing it.
Now we got to go write it.
Yeah, we might want to finish that before next week.
Brian also said he can't wait to hear the acoustic jam, but I think you came in a little late, Brian.
Yeah, man.
We kind of broke it up throughout the interview.
Yeah.
He knows how my format is, but he don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Last week he sent me something. He's like, "Are you not getting in this Zoom call?" I'm like, "I'm lost. Am I supposed to be in a Zoom call?" He's like, "That wasn't supposed to go to you." I was like, right on.
Cool.
Well, I won't keep you guys any longer. I'm glad we had a better connection, because with that last interview, when I went to do my editing, all I had was Rocco. I didn't have nothing to you, Mike. That file was gone, but I had just got this brand new laptop, and I realized that it was still uploading everything in the background that day. So we'll have some better footage, and I'm gonna edit it and make the thing is now them shorts with the captions are blowing up. So I've just been trying to get those out there left and right for all my bands that I've had on here. I've already got you guys on a Spotify playlist and YouTube playlist. It's got pretty much everybody I've talked to.
Cool.
Sweet. Awesome, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
for the
Jimbo.
time. Yeah.
Appreciate
No
it,
problem.
man.
Yeah, I'm out
We
here to
will
get the music
share.
out, man. I mean, with the internet, we got to use it to our advantage. And I mean, we can reach everybody if we
Right.
grab the right channels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly right, man. Thank you.
Well, cool. Thanks
y'all
for
have
having
a-
us. We'll see you next.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good night.
You
All right,
too,
buddy.
man.
See you,
Later.
man. That's pretty good.